Thank you to our sponsors for today's video, InfyPower, Amber, StarCharge, and Eaton. InfyPower is the largest EV charger module provider with over 3 million power modules running reliably worldwide. Their latest G2 collection features ultra-high power density and efficiency for EV charging and energy storage integration. InfyPower, innovation for your power. And Amber, providing modern protection plans for your Tesla's battery and more without the hassle of long-term contracts or upfront payments. Check out the link in the description to explore their plan options and use Spec 5 for a 5% discount on all plans. This video is also brought to you by StarCharge, the largest EV charging manufacturer in the world, and is also a provider of residential and commercial battery storage and microgrid solutions. And finally, Eaton. Eaton is a one-stop shop for implementing reliable and innovative EV charging infrastructure at your site. Across all applications, Eaton's EV charging infrastructure, hardware, and software gives you the scalability, flexibility, and intelligence you need to charge today and scale up tomorrow. Learn more at eaton.com/EVCI. Hey guys, before we get into this video, I've got some exciting news for you EV drivers. We are hosting a meetup to celebrate the launch of Iona's new EV charging network. Iona could set the standard for the best EV charging experience, and I can't wait to try it. So, if you're up for a road trip, or if you live local to the Raleigh Triangle area, join me on December 19th to stress test Iona's very first rechargery. The link is in the description to sign up, and I hope to see you all there at the launch of this new network.
Ho, ho, hello, and welcome. And I hope you're having a great holiday season. Speaking of holiday season, I mean, it's time for the holiday update from Tesla, which is now a yearly thing. And even other companies are jumping on board. We got Rivian's holiday update coming soon. But we are here to talk about this. The light show, all the new features, everything has come to my Model 3. Andreas joins me behind the camera. We're going to talk about why it hasn't come to his Model 3, hasn't come to the Cybertruck yet either, but we'll still get into all those features. So this is 2024.44.25, I think was the update. There's a lot of numbers in there. It really rolls off the tongue. But we're going to get into all the features, so let's jump right in. So first up, installing the update. Tesla makes this notoriously so easy. It actually downloaded automatically last night, and now the app and the car both tell me it's ready to install every time I start the car, get in the car, or when I park somewhere. And it quotes 55 minutes. We're actually going to time it and time lapse it and see how accurate that is. So once again, that was so easy. It actually took 49 minutes, I think, right around 45, yeah, under 50 minutes, over 45 minutes, somewhere in that realm. So was a little over 5 minutes less than Tesla expected. Music actually started playing after 40 minutes, which was weird. Like the screen wasn't ready yet, but it started blasting, but you could still use the scroll wheel to turn it down. That was kind of funny. So once you get the holiday update installed on your car, you can then update the Tesla app on your phone, which will then allow you to download the Tesla app on your watch. Here it is. So you can see the car is named Silver Medal number 2 because of our I-90 surge. That's the place we got.
Hell yeah.
And I guess we can set up watch key, which should work to pair, authorizing. Boom, there we go. So you'll see your state of charge in the very middle. Tap to oscillate between miles remaining in state of charge. I guess this is the charging. Yep, that's what that would be. And close, nice. And vehicle locking, unlocking really quickly. Climate control on, and the hood or the frunk popped.
I wish this was configurable, like the frunk, because it's kind of dangerous if you're...
Agreed.
Like, yeah, you have to still confirm it if you're outside a certain range.
Yeah.
But what if you're in Kansas and then you honk?
That's intense. So there's 4 additional items, although it's a bit I guess the charge port is redundant, but everything else is unique because there's the rear trunk, but then also the front trunk. But yeah, you're right. I wish these 4 corners could be completely configurable like a watch complication. But then supposedly you'd be able to swipe between cars as well. I only actually have my 1 car on here, but cool. I'll take it. Having your watch as a key is kind of nice. Not really sure if, let's say I leave my phone at home. In theory, this would still work even without connectivity, cellular connectivity. As a key to the car, maybe you wouldn't be able to do all the functions. But I do wonder if that's using the Bluetooth connectivity. That's probably what you're doing when you first set it up as a key.
Sorry.
Shit happens. So, the huge list of features in this holiday update, that is one of them, I guess. Literally the fart on contact, as they call it. So the whoopee cushion has been a piece of this toy box forever, where you can actually use the steering wheel to click one, or just do it on a turn signal, which is hilariously annoying, or when you now sit. So that was probably a meeting to have this
Oh yeah.
figured out. So we're just getting that out of the way. Another feature is auto shift between drive and reverse on stockless Model 3 Highland. Model S and Model X have had this since 2021 actually, but now the actual updated Highland can now do automatic shifting. So when you're pulling out of a parking spot, it automatically detects you want to go backwards, and then it automatically switches to drive once you've actually stopped by just rotating the wheel the direction you need to go. Very easy, actually, very intuitive. And Andreas really wishes he had this update now because he watched it happen and he was so jealous. Elon said it would come to older vehicles, but we're starting to see some limitations of what's available in older vehicles beyond what he originally said. So don't actually know if that's going to happen. But for now, Highland gets auto shift between drive and reverse. Then there's also rear cross traffic alert. This has been around since 2010 in some other cars. It's been rolling out gradually over the last decade and a half. Tesla finally gets it. Tesla, welcome to 2010. It is nice. We tested it in a grocery store parking spot, and yeah, throw it in reverse. It shows the, glowing red at the edge of your camera, just like if you were to do a turn signal while you're on a highway and someone's next to you in your lane you're about to turn into. Same type of thing. No actual audible noise with that, which is interesting. I would have expected something.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, maybe it would lower music or something, but we didn't have any music playing. And again, there's a lot of cars do that with sensors because this is vision based. This is based on vision, so it may or may not be super accurate, but also probably should be pretty good, I think.
Yep.
So glad to see that. Elon did say it was originally going to come in 2020, so a few years back, finally rolling out. But again, Elon's timelines are anyone's guesses.
I'm actually surprised they introduced this, because Tesla is all about autonomy, right, and self-driving, and this is one of those features you will not need in an autonomous future. So I'm glad they introduced it.
They
same. Keep adding those small features.
Is it just another thing to throw on the holiday update docket because
Probably,
they wanted as much as possible?
Yeah.
All right, we also have now SiriusXM on. You can see right there on Model 3, Model Y, and Cybertruck.
Serious business.
Serious business. Here's the thing. This has actually turned out to be a pretty controversial rollout. First off, let me talk about the technology behind it. So, Model S and X have had SiriusXM, but in those cars, as well as every other car in the world pretty much, it is an actual dedicated satellite antenna, so you have direct satellite connection for SiriusXM capabilities. However, because it is effectively internet radio, you can do it with, you can do it on your phone, you can do it with a connected device such as Model 3, Model Y, and Cybertruck without the antenna needed. But the limitation there is cell service. So if you're in your Tesla somewhere slightly remote, you maybe without a cell connection, like in the mountains, you will not be able to get SiriusXM, whereas a lot of other cars would still be able to get it because of their direct satellite connection. That's a limitation. The other thing I've heard, and I'm curious if any of you in the comments have had this negative experience that I've heard from a lot of people, if you have an existing subscription, it doesn't actually let you transfer it to the Tesla. So a lot of people have had to get a second subscription after the trial, or try to get the trial. And like, if you have an existing account and subscription, maybe a lot of favorited stations, people have had a lot of issues actually getting that set up on the Tesla with all their favorites and stuff. Maybe it's just like glitches with the rollout, but I've heard from, it wasn't just a few cases, like hundreds of people on the interwebs explaining the frustration of this rollout and how sleazy it is or whatever. So curious if any of you have had negative impact with SiriusXM. I don't use it. I don't think it's particularly amazing. I don't like radio as is too much. I just like to pick my music. And SiriusXM is not super high quality music anyways. So I'm not the target audience, but curious if you are, and curious if you've had any issues with that. Beyond that, there's also a new TuneIn, which is super cool. So this is effectively a way to get radio stations from around the world, and that is now on here. There's not really a whole lot to talk about with that, but kind of cool. A lot of people are radio enthusiasts. I am kind of the opposite. I hate radio, but cool that hits here. And I guess there is music and podcast as well. Not really sure how that works. I don't know a ton about TuneIn, but it is now available on your Tesla, so yay. Here in the navigation is where we can see a lot of other cool things that are new, including one of which is set arrival energy at destination. So, for example, I'm going to Kansas City, almost typed in KFC. I'm going to Kansas City for New Year's Eve. Let's see, where is that? This is actually good for me to plot this out a little bit. Just under 600 miles as the crow flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that how they do that, but whatever. It should be just over 600 miles with actual driving. And then I can set arrival energy. So it is, yeah, like I said, I think 610 miles-ish total. And you can actually tell it what you want the arrival energy to be at the very final destination. I wish you had the ability to do it per individual supercharger stop, but this is good for me to know. It only takes 40% to get to Lyman, which is pretty wild. And this is leaving with not even a full battery. So I'll probably leave with closer to 100% when I do that trip. Of course, that'll be its own video, but you can set the arrival energy in increments of 10, but wait, in increments of 5. Oh, cool. Originally it was reported increments of 10, but you can do increments of 5 from anywhere from 5 to 95%, which is pretty cool. So I'm actually going to say, oh, maybe actually probably 50, because I don't know my exact charging situation in Kansas City. No one I'm staying with has charging. So that actually ended up adding in extra charging stops to account for that. Quite a few extra charging stops actually, which is interesting. But I'll see if I can play with that on my road trip. But that way, once you get to your actual final destination, if you know there's no charging at your destination or even that close to it, you can account for it. Whereas before, I kind of had to manually do that. I don't know if you've had that experience, Andreas. When you get to your final destination, do you ever have to leave, like manually calculate getting there with higher than
Oh yeah, for sure.
whatever?
Yeah. For example, I drove to San Antonio, Texas just recently. And, you know, my last charging stop was like 100 miles before San Antonio, but my arrival estimate was like 10%. Of course, I didn't want to arrive in San Antonio with 10%, right? So
Right.
I overcharged. Actually, no, I stopped right before again at a supercharger. So yeah, now this will take care of this for you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now you can also search along the route, which enthusiasts like Andreas and myself have been doing manually for years. You can now do it built in. Just once you're routing somewhere, you can just tap again, search along the route, and I could find some amazing local craft coffee shop and see if anything shows up
Family run.
along the route, which is nice. So I love this because right beforehand, I should have taken a video. It was literally yesterday before I installed this update. I was near the airport out here and I was navigating home. So it's like this. And I searched Chipotle and it zoomed out and showed me like Chipotle's down here. Like, it was so dumb. So I'm thrilled that you can now search precisely along the route. And each one you tap, I think, is the detour. Like, that's how far out of the way. Oh, and it adds 5 minutes, adds 1 minute. quick detour.
That is nice.
So let's say we were racing to Vegas in another, race to Vegas situation. Boom. Can see how fast it calculates that route. Pretty fast, pretty decently. But then we wanted to search along the route for coffee. Not that we would ever do that, Andreas. We would never stop for coffee during a race situation. But really cool that it shows you all these different coffee shops along the route. So if I was routing to Kansas City and I wanted to see the weather, of course it does now show you the weather, 39 degrees on arrival at final destination. That's pretty sweet. And then I think you can tap that, yes, and see more details, including the various hours leading up to and around it. And you can toggle between current and destination. That's pretty sweet. This also requires premium connectivity, which is another reason why I think that might be worth it. And there's also this toggle right here, which should show us radar. Boom. That's pretty sweet. And so you can kind of look along your route, see if there's any storms coming. Looks like there's a lot happening in the Midwest over there. But if I were to go to Kansas City now, looks like it'd be nice and clear. But Andreas, you were doing some research and it looks like that you can't necessarily do this on every car.
That's correct. It's only supported on AMD chip-based cars.
Yeah, so our Intel chip car friends will not get the weather radar, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yep.
I am curious as well with the actual, I've heard that the weather at destination actually doesn't work if you're going really far away. So like over a day away. It's like it's limited to one day, like maybe 24 hours or so.
That's correct, yep.
So we'll have to definitely test that out. We'll test all these features out our next race that we win.
You have to go on a weather radar road trip.
A weather radar road trip. Heck yeah. So what's cool is I am working on a video right now on connectivity, premium connectivity, what's worth it. And with this update, you can actually now get live traffic data without premium connectivity. It always did account for traffic, but it didn't really show you. So now non-premium connectivity will still see the red and orange, supposedly. So that's really, really nice to have, and it helps our non-premium connectivity brethren out. Okay, we also have a new game that everyone's been really excited about, Boomerang Fu, controller required.
What does FU stand for, Jordan, in this game title?
Not entirely sure, but I know it's very like food oriented, and it's apparently a really popular game, up to 4 players. So that would actually be really fun, actually, to get a bunch of controllers and people in your car. Maybe that's something we can do and show whenever we get the holiday update in the Cybertruck. That'd be pretty fun, do like a little game night. But Boomerang Fu is apparently a big deal. Everyone seems to be talking about it, but it's now available as of this holiday update. So we also have a new seat menu, an entirely new menu line here. So I, from the driver's seat, can adjust the seat heating across all the seats. Let's say now, while it's not occupied, I can actually move the passenger seat and give my rear passenger more legroom.
Oh, thank you.
So that's kind of cool. Just a new seat menu, which is hilarious that they added it as its own separate line item. Now we also have this new feature, I guess. So before you could always control the rear screen and see what's going on here. And I can see that Andreas is watching, I think, Kyle Connor video.
Yeah, I usually sit back here and I watch out of spec.
So if your rear passenger is watching out of spec on the rear screen, the front passenger could always do this, but there's actually a whole separate menu if you go to theater, and it just brought the audio up forward here, which is pretty cool. I can shrink that back down, and let's see. If I go back to theater here, yeah, I can join the rear display at any time. So if you're watching something and I'm jealous, I can then hit this, and boom, it goes to both.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Pretty terrible car. If the rear passenger is watching something, I can always join it from up here, and I can also interact with it. So if I want to see these guinea pigs eating later on in the video and see how much progress they've made, I can overthrow your screen, I guess, which is actually convenient. I think if you have kids in the back and they need help or something, as someone who's very familiar with the YouTube interface, I can then go find other related guinea pig videos and add them to a playlist, apparently. It doesn't seem like it's super... There we go. I guess I can add this. or just take it over. I don't know. Apparently you can affect playlists and stuff and just basically manage the rear screen from the front screen is really what they're trying to say. So apparently you can also now watch a video in the web browser, such as Elon unveiling the Tesla Roadster now 7 years ago. And if I go forward, the video is limited to audio only. So you can continue listening to it, but the video just holds its frame apparently, which is interesting. They don't hide it, they just hold its frame. And then if we park, let's see what happens. There we go. Nice. It caught right up. You also now have a maintenance summary. So here in the service menu, there's a new maintenance. By the way, anything you see a blue dot next to means it is something new and a new update. There's now maintenance summary. So you can see last maintenance, but also next maintenance and maintenance recommendations based on everything else. That's actually pretty cool. I wish every car had this. It's cool that Tesla has it, but like let's start seeing this on everything else. Of course your owner's manual says these things, but just having a really easy maintenance app is so handy. Another feature is now Superchargers will show you when they're out of order, which is pretty cool. I think when navigating, perhaps, Andreas, we've been trying to find one out of order, but Superchargers just all seem to be working.
Oh, that's one I want actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm never gonna find that again.
You can check on the clip.
All right, we found it. Westminster, for example, has out of order 2A, so avoid 2A when you go to Westminster. But that's crazy. All these Superchargers, and we only found one location with one out of order.
This is not new, right? Like this has been there before.
That's what I thought, yeah. So I don't know what's new about that, unless you're just like navigating somewhere.
Maybe navigate to it.
And then in the navigation is where it'll maybe say.
Or it will pop up once you get closer.
That's also possible. Like when you arrive, it'll say, okay, make sure you avoid such and such.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
We should go there now and test it out.
Yeah. So one thing I'm extremely excited about now that it's getting dark out is the light show. There are 2 new songs this year, which we can actually check out both. So what you do is you'll go into the toy box, go into schedule show. Then you can pick Cyber Symphony or Ready for Assault. Those are the new ones. Previously I had The Arrival, Auld Lang Syne, Carol of the Bells, or you can do a custom show on a USB stick, which is pretty cool as well. You can schedule it for a future minute up to 10 minutes away from now. And you can also select whether you want charge port, mirrors, windows, and trunk to move as well. I think the lights are really the coolest part, so I'm just going to leave this for lights right now. Actually, I'll leave that checked just to show Cyber Symphony, and then we'll check out the other one. So, confirm, exit the vehicle to start the show. Let's see what happens. Ugh. You can also specify volume, so you can do mostly lights without much volume, but you see the windows roll down because a lot of the sound does come from the speakers inside. And you can kind of just walk around and see what's happening. So the mirrors start flapping, you will see the windows kind of rolling up. And now that the Model 3 has interior ambient lighting, that is also a feature of the show. It gets all RGB and the screen itself. In theory, this wouldn't be copyright, right? Tesla would want us to show this. Wow. Pretty great, and this is the base Model 3, by the way, guys, not the upgraded one with the subs. So as soon as Andreas gets it, we are definitely testing it again. And honestly, Cybertruck should be pretty fun too. Each show is a minute and a half long, roughly, so that's about how long you can sit out and be entertained. And what's cool is you can coordinate with other Teslas. If you all schedule it for, 4:56 or whatever, you'll all do it at the exact same time, synchronized, which is pretty cool. So even the trunk goes up. Wow. Okay. Well, it really helps you see how many different lighting elements there are in the car that you may not notice as a normal person walking around. Love it. The charge port is such a weird thing to include in the show, but I do. And will it close?
Will it close?
Yep.
Nice.
Nice fast charge port door, by the way.
Yep.
I just want to check out the other one really quick too. And I'm going to leave the flapping off this time. So that was what was it? Cyber Symphony. And now we're doing Ready for Assault. Dance moves turned off. Confirm. And the same thing should happen. Rolling the windows down. Ooh. This sounds very action movie.
This sounds more cyber actually to me.
There are two. Tesla does shout out the artists that made these songs, so that was a really cool partnership, I guess.
Nice.
But pretty epic. Honestly, yeah, I wish the speakers in the outside of the car were a bit higher quality.
Some dubstep right there.
Pretty good bass for the bass sound system.
The bass, Model 3 bass.
I can definitely hear the rattles though. I will have more rattles after this is done, I'm pretty sure. But hey, warranty.
Warranty. It's a lease.
And you can reach in and adjust the left scroll wheel during the show to actually turn it up or down, which is kind of cool.
Skrillex will be proud of this song.
Yeah. So also, now that it's dark, I can show you guys the new update to Rainbow Road, which now adds the accent lights. Actually, you can select it right here. You can say, gotta have more rainbows. So it is optional. But now, when auto steer is active, it should be RGB Rainbow Road, and this should be taking the full screen. Not super dramatic. I guess there's no sound. I actually thought there was sound.
Should be Mario Kart music.
I know. There should be they should license that with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But yeah, now your accent lights just change and the Rainbow Road's happening. That's kind of fun, kind of silly, but I'll take it. I love Easter eggs, even if they're aggressively silly.
As you're passing a rainbow colored house over there.
Yeah, 'tis the season for this, I tell you what. And if you're wondering, the Santa mode also now does that. It switches between white, red, and green, the Christmas colors, on your accent lighting, and you've got your Santa sleigh here. And Santa sleigh with Rainbow Road.
Oh my god.
It's intense, folks. Notably, the Cybertruck also gets a holiday update, but no one's gotten it yet as of the recording this video, which is 11 days before Christmas. And Andreas, your car has not gotten it either.
No, and the reason is FSD, I believe. So us FSD supervised, no longer beta testers, always ahead a little bit with the FSD versions. And I think the holiday update has FSD version 12.5.6.2.
Yep.
And us FSD testers are on .4, which is ahead. So yeah, so the branch with FSD has to catch up with the holiday update, hopefully before Christmas. Otherwise, it's not going to be a holiday update.
Yeah, I know. You would think so. And that's crazy because like my FSD expired and then I immediately got the holiday update.
Exactly.
Which is really interesting. But you're right. Like Cybertruck does not have the holiday update yet, and it is in the holidays, as we would call it. And Rivian just announced their holiday update like today, I think, which is supposed to be rolling out in the next couple weeks. Christmas is in less than 2 weeks. So they're really up against the bar here. But let me just talk about what the Cybertruck gets, and we'll show that whenever we do get it on our Cybertruck in another video. You'll get Cybertruck custom wraps and license plates. So this whole situation right here, you'll be able to customize how your Cybertruck looks like with a custom wrap. You can already change the color of your Tesla, but with the Cybertruck, you can actually do a custom wrap using a template design available on GitHub, and you'll be able to do a custom license plate on the Cybertruck. I hope they bring that to other cars. Notably, a lot of Tesla owners, not just Cybertruck owners, have custom license plates like no gas or Elon #1, or you know. But it'd be fun to have custom license plate and also a custom wrap beyond just color. That'd be kind of cool. You also get rear camera improvements on the Cybertruck, which is really exciting because, you know, the camera took up like a section here or here. You kind of move it around. Apparently it's going to be a larger camera feed now, and you can also pinch to zoom in and out, which is really cool. Can't wait to try that. There's also going to be rear arcade in the Cybertruck, so you can play games in the back seat while cruising around. That's cool. And then Cybertruck Santa mode will also be coming, which, you know, we have in here, I guess, in Toy Box, not Sketchpad. Where is it?
Santa.
Santa.
Yeah.
Yes. So this becomes, ooh, let's do both of these. So this is, you know, a model. I hate that you can't control the volume. It's just there. But that becomes a Model 3, and then of course with the Cybertruck, that becomes a Cybertruck with Robo Deer. Were these like Robo Deer? No, there's like normal deer. The Cybertruck is like robotic deer, which is awesome. So that's it, I think, for like everything. That was a lot. So it's funny, actually previous years had less in the update. Like last year, you know, Apple Music came out with a holiday update, which I was excited about, but everyone made fun of me for being an Apple Music user. And there's been previous holiday update years with lighter updates, and even so much where Elon had to come out later and be like, oh wait, there's more, don't fret. So this year it really does feel pretty jam-packed. I don't know, Andreas, what are your impressions after all the things, because you want it, you don't have it yet.
I think a decently sized update, thanks soft engineers at the Tesla. That's great. I can't wait for, I think the radar overlay is awesome, the weather. I can't wait to try the auto shift while driving, or however they call it.
Yep.
That's gonna be interesting. I hope it works well.
Yep.
And yeah, just all the small updates, you know, like watch app support. That's gonna be cool. SiriusXM, I've been to just try it out, even though I'm also not a radio guy. It would just be fun to, you know, to check out a few stations, you know, things like that.
Try everything.
Yeah, and fart on contact, obviously, big change. So
amazing. Yeah. Sit happens is what they say.
Sit happens.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. That's really our coverage of the holiday update. For now, it is frustrating that not everyone has it. You would expect everyone to start getting it, and Tesla unveiled it in like the very, very beginning of December. Now it's middle December. Still nothing for a lot of people. Still nothing for Cybertruck. So can't wait for that to actually roll out. Can't wait to cover other holiday updates. Rivian will be interesting. And let us know what you guys think of the holiday update. Anything you wish was in there. I know a lot of people were wishing for like FSD 13.
Oh yeah.
To be lumped into this, but I guess we are left wanting more. So let us know if you think this is enough. Is it too much? Is it not enough? And either way, we hope you all have a great holidays. We'll be seeing you in more videos very soon. Until then, goodbye from my Model 3, which is still around.
Later.
Another thing you can now do is searching along the route. There's another...
Actually, must pay attention when you were.
And let's try it again. Where was I? That's perfect.